How do you celebrate a courtroom when prison is still on the table? And what happens when the spotlight shifts from the father to the son? Because right now, the focus isn't just on Sean Diddy Combs. It's on his son, Christian King Combs, and whether his name could be next in a legal storm that's still unfolding. It all traces back to a lawsuit filed by Grace Omari, a former yacht steward, who alleges that in December 2022, what she believed would be a wholesome family excursion turned into something far darker. According to complaint, she had been working a 12-hour shift on a yacht leased by Diddy when Christian allegedly pressured her to drink tequila shots. She later claimed she suspected the alcohol had been tainted because, in her words, women appear to pass out after just one drink. That detail alone raises eyebrows. But here's where it gets messy. Grace alleges that Christian, who she says appeared intoxicated, cornered her in a makeshift recording studio on board the yacht. In the lawsuit, she claims he grabbed her arm, prevented her from leaving, kissed her neck and face, and touched her without consent. She further alleges that he attempted to force her into performing oral S*X before she resisted. These claims are allegations laid out in civil court documents. They have not been proven in criminal court. But then comes the part people can't ignore. The alleged incident in that studio, according to the complaint, may have been witnessed by music producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones, who has filed his own separate lawsuit against Sean Combs. Grace's filing suggests there could even be audio tied to that moment. If true, that would shift everything. But as of now, that remains part of disputed civil claims.
We're all about, oh, Diddy's turning gray behind bars. Who gives a flying fig about his hair? I don't care. I want this to be about the victims. That's what I want. That's how I perceive it. And I have dealt with so many victims. I've had victims that could never have a romantic relationship with a man after that. That feeling of helplessness, you can't fight back. And you just, then after, people may not believe you. If you're lucky enough to have children, it affects how you raise them. You know, like my fiance was murdered shortly before our wedding. You think I don't know where my children are right now? You don't think I'll look at Life 360 50 times a day? When my husband leaves to go out of town, I'm like, well, he could die. That's just my reality.
That's trauma. Yeah.
Same thing with these.
Grace also alleges that when she reported what happened to the yacht's captain, she was dismissed and later let go. She claims a cover-up followed, alleging that certain employees were asked for statements while she and her partner were excluded. She further alleges that Diddy is liable under a legal theory known as premises liability, arguing that as a leaseholder of the yacht, he had a duty to ensure safety on board. Again, these are claims within a lawsuit, strongly denied by defense attorneys in related cases. But the inclusion of alleged bruised photographs within the filing adds another layer that investigators may not ignore. And here's the part people miss: jurisdiction. The yacht reportedly was not docked in California at the time, potentially complicating legal pathways. But complicated does not mean closed. With multiple federal, state, and even international investigations already surrounding Sean Combs, any related allegation could be revisited if new evidence surfaces. That's not speculation. That's how layered investigations work. Now fast forward to the courthouse celebrations. After a mixed federal verdict cleared Diddy of racketeering and charges but found him guilty on 2 prostitution-related counts, videos surfaced of Christians celebrating outside court, dancing, shirt off, doing push-ups on the pavement. To some supporters, it looked like relief. To critics, it looked reckless. And perception matters.
Defense, meanwhile, argued the women were willing participants in fulfilling Combs' sexual desires and that all the encounters we heard about in this trial were consensual. And there you see, after the verdict, Diddy's family celebrating on the streets in New York City, doing push-ups on the sidewalk while others danced. They said a few words exclusively to
clown. King clown. That's some real clowns. Man, listen to me, man. Let me just tell you something, bro. And this is real talk. He's still going to jail. You happy because he didn't get the RICO and the racketeering, so he gets to keep his money. He gets to keep his inheritance. He gets to keep all the that they stole over the years from other people. That's why he happy. Him and Puff wasn't that tight. They used to go at it. People close by would tell that story. Yeah, that's still his father. But you and I both know that extra shit right out there, come on, man. Outside the court, the judge might give him extra time for this and his antics. Puff not coming home, bro. And you got to realize at 50-something years old, he'll come out to get his Social Security or better. How old is he? Born in 69? We're like 54, 55, something like that. He'll come out and get his Social Security. He had to do 85% of his time. That right there, King Kong or Christian, acting like that in front of the courts, in front of everybody. They be taking these judges back information, these fucking, the officers, they got people around there looking at that. There were victims in this case.
Gene Deal, a former associate of Diddy, publicly criticized Christian's behavior, suggesting that judges and investigators observe everything. That commentary reflects opinion, not legal fact, but it highlights a reality. Public conduct can influence narrative, even if it doesn't alter charges. Meanwhile, defense attorneys have maintained that encounters discussed in court were consensual and have pushed back strongly against broader allegations. Then another video surfaced. Christian attempting to get his girlfriend to twerk on camera while celebrating. For critics, it reinforced an image of immaturity. For supporters, it was simply a young artist living freely. But here's the tension. When your father is awaiting sentencing in a federal case, optics hit differently. Because while Christian was outside celebrating, Sean Combs was inside prison walls. After being charged in September 2024 with serious federal offenses, including racketeering and charges he has denied, Diddy was initially held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, a facility long criticized for harsh conditions. Reports surfaced, including claims discussed during court hearings, that he experienced threats from other inmates. Those accounts were described by people close to him and referenced during sentencing arguments. Eventually, he was transferred to FCI Fort Dix in New Jersey.
When do you grow up, man, and be who you really are? Because you ain't no gangster. You don't know what a gangster is. You a prankster. You a prankster, son. Stop that. I think when the people heard the mixtape and they called him out on it, and they was checking him and they was trying to check him, but they lost, bruh. They don't have no guidance. The dude who's supposed to be doing, I don't know if he's security, whatever like that. Man, what the fuck is you doing out here like this? He gets on the ground and start doing push-ups up with him. Bruh, for real? Man, put your shirt on and get your ass back in that damn car. Stop acting like you stupid. Act like you got some sense. That's when they making the dollar make them, bruh. The dollar is making them. What you happy about? You gotta realize they know his daddy's still going to jail. They happy because they feel like the government doesn't have a right to mess with nobody's assets at this time. The verdict on the RICO, non and void. Nothing. Racketeering, nothing. And I guess it was some kind of, what was the other charge? Sex or something like that? Not sex. They got the sex charges, but the RICO, the racketeering, and the kidnapping. The kidnapping. Coercion, kidnapping, all this like that. All that was non-void. It went nowhere. It went nowhere. But you still partying? Your dad about to do...
At Fort Dix, reports indicate he now works in the prison library as part of a rehabilitation program. No mansions, no red carpets, a steel bed, structured routines. Federal records suggest a projected release date of June 4th, 2028, contingent on good behavior and program completion. That's confirmed through official records, not rumor. And that contrast is sharp. The man once associated with billion-dollar branding is now reportedly organizing books and religious materials for inmates. Meanwhile, 50 Cent has produced a documentary examining allegations surrounding Diddy, framing it as storytelling rather than a personal vendetta. Critics say there's history between them. 50 says it's about giving alleged victims a platform. The debate continues.
Anything for attention right now, man. Anything for attention, and if they want to make you believe that they happy, they want to fool you to believe that they happy, bruh. He's an attention seeker. I look back on all the things that all his sons had been doing. Well, just him, Justin, because Quincy ain't his son. That's Al B. Sure's son. King Kong has been the reckless of all of them that came to represent him. Did some mixtape with Kanye West, dissing the witnesses, threatening them with a rifle outside the courtroom with his shirt off, doing jumping jacks, screaming victory and all that. Talking about they going on tour, the reunion tour, whatever. Then having his girl twerk or trying to get his girl to twerk or whatever.
So where's that leave Christian? As of now, he has not been criminally charged in connection with Grace Omari's allegations. The lawsuit remains a civil matter. Allegations are disputed. No criminal conviction exists tied to him in this case. But if investigators determine connections between multiple claims, cases can evolve. That's not prediction. It's procedural reality. And behavior under the spotlight can invite scrutiny, fair or not. Investigators watch. Prosecutors take notes. Judges observe public conduct. That doesn't equal guilt, but it shapes narratives. So here's the open question. If new evidence surfaces, could Christian face charges of his own? Or will this remain a contested civil dispute overshadowed by his father's legal battle? Drop your thoughts below, but keep it respectful. Because in cases like this, the line between allegation and proof matters more than ever.
Diddy is just a working class stiff while he's at Fort Dix.
So when you're at a prison and somebody says, you read any good books lately, Diddy is the answer.
He's the guy to go to because we got video of him at Fort Dix reporting for work in the library where he is making recommendations and handing out different movies and books for his fellow inmates.
I'm really fascinated just by the library
But
itself.
you're seeing him here. This is him reporting to work, taking off his jacket,
Yeah.
taking off his scarf, and settling in for a day on the job.
It looks like a public school library.
Yeah.
It's
This was the chapel, and this is the media library in the chapel, which is where Diddy's currently working. He's working in a Life Connections program, which is an 18-month program that helps rehab people, get them closer to spirituality, to charity groups, and with that, it will shorten his sentence. But in this media library, he helps inmates with religious material, rent out movies, that kind of stuff. You see him pushing a
really
cart
interesting
with a TV on it.
Yeah, I mean, he was in the laundry room when he first got there.
Yeah,
This got to be
his first
This got to
assignment.
be a promotion.
Yeah.
It feels like a promotion. It feels like maybe he tried the lunchroom and put in a request for something different.
Yeah, it does
I mean,
believe
he is a
it does
media
sound like
mogul.
he used maybe possibly some connections to get a better job.
So here's my question. I mean, that's the story.
Yeah.
My question is this. So Diddy had a certain persona before he got in all this trouble. And now he looks very different.